Well, hello friends and spiritual seekers alike. So we're going to be doing a group of tarot readings here for the month of April 2020. We're just going to cleanse our area here with a bit of holy wood. I also have some incense just burning at the bottom there. Perfect. So I have this reading kind of set up week by week. So we have the first week in April, which is about the 5th to about the 11th. Then we have the 12th to the 18th, 19th to the 25th, and then about the 26th to the end of the month. I'm also going to be doing some kind of personal readings for the month of April at the end, if you want to stick around for that. So if you want to keep up to date with all of my tarot readings, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification, and comment down below what you want to come about in April. Yes, we can kind of have some ideas of the different energies and things like that that are going to be coming towards us in April and become, that we might have to look out for. But what do we want to accomplish in the month of April? Let me know down below. Okay, so we're going to move the rest of these to the side. So we're going to be focusing on our first month of April. So the top here, we have the Everyday Witch cards, and these are tarot. Okay, so we have the 8 of Cups, 9 of Cups, and the 4 of Swords. So what I'm getting with these cards is we need to focus on our grounding. So we're looking at the kind of cups. We need to look at our grounding and what we're doing in our physical lives. Some things need to be stepped away from. This could be by choice. This could be by force. It might be something we don't really have a choice in, but we need to accept that we need to step away from that, or we need to leave that for the time being. And that will lead us into kind of a realization or reevaluation. We may have to just kind of rethink, why was this so important? Why am I being so affected by it? And really reevaluate our values and what we really consider important in our lives. And that will lead into a time of rest, where because we're letting this go, we are going to have a little bit more free time, or we're going to have some time to reevaluate what we are doing in our lives, or what we are valuing in our lives. So this will kind of give us a little bit of rest and time for reflection. So our daily intention for this week, well, it's the daily intention cards, but what we should be focusing on for that week is, for today, I stand tall. So this is something that we're going to go in with this. This is for yourself, right? You're going to stand tall and have the energy, have the confidence, and have the strength to reevaluate and let go, right? We're going to stand tall and go for what we want, or reevaluate what we really want. For our Wicca Oracle, so we have number 21. This is our mask, and this can be construed in a couple different ways. So this can be putting on our mask and portraying a new side of ourselves, or portraying something that we want to conceal, or it can be taking off that mask, which I feel like all of this together, it would definitely be taking off that mask and revealing your true self. And I feel like it might be revealing your true self to yourself. Maybe it's something that you've lost. Maybe it's something that you've kind of put in the back burner. And we need to take that mask off and really portray and allow yourself to be your true self. And lastly, we have our from above and below cards. So the way they work together. So this is going to show us what we're doing on a earth base and what we should be doing on a spiritual base. So on our earth base, we have the Hermit, and on top here we have the 10 of Fire. And I really like these cards, and they definitely go together because we have this lovely portrayal of self-care, taking time, taking a bath. She's reading, she's taking time for herself. She's got some candles going, and that's what we definitely need to do. We need to take some time for ourselves, take care of ourselves. And on the spiritual side, we have this nice astronomy card with all the different constellations. And what I see from this is we need to explore and reintroduce ourselves to our spiritual sides. And this, because we're taking the time to reevaluate our true selves, taking rest, giving ourselves time, doing self-care, this is going to be part of your self-care. So yes, we need to do self-care physically, but we need to do self-care spiritually. And this is what this card is telling me, is take the time to maybe explore something different, or get back to something that you do already in your different practice, or different spiritual religions and things like that. We need to go back and explore. Maybe it's something, it could be something new, or it could be just re-exploring something you've done before or that you already do. All right, so that is our week 1 of April. Okay, so this is our second week in April. We're going to start off with our tarot. And you may hear my dog laying beside me. She's going in between licking and sleeping, so she might hear her on the side there. Okay, so for the second week in April, we have the 10 of Cups, the Chariot, and the Knight of Cups. So I'm reading this along that we have our family time. This card, whenever I have this card, I always see it as family time. And this is coming together. It could be just your immediate family, maybe some extended family are going to start coming in, but this is going to be our family time and taking that time to reconnect with family. And there may also be a crossroads. So this might be a time where you need to make a decision on where you're going next, or what you're doing next. So in the first week, we're going to be kind of having that relaxation, that kind of self-time. We're going to start reconnecting with family, so maybe people are coming in, and then we need to kind of see what's going on. So this might be a decision. People may be going back to work, or maybe you're going to be changing work. This may be also a decision of maybe a change in where you're going with your family. So maybe a family dynamic may change. But there's going to be a crossroads where a decision needs to be made. But whatever decision that you end up making, this is going to lead us into a little bit of adventure. But it's an adventure that you're glad to be doing. So there's a lot of love attached to that adventure, and it's something that you're going to enjoy. So for our intention card, for today I play. So this could be attached to any one of these cards. It could be attached to your family time. It could be attached to what decision you make. So something you enjoy. When I think of play, I think of something that's fun. I think of something that's enjoyable. So maybe that is something that will be a player in making that decision. And like I said, that adventure is going to be enjoyable. So it's going to be, it could be a play. It could be something that you're figuring out as you go based on enjoyment. For our oracle card, we have number 26, and we have this lovely tree here, and this goes with growth. When I see this tree card, I always think of growth, and this definitely goes with these two cards here, I feel, of there's going to be growth involved. And with trees, we have slow growth. It's definitely not something that's going to happen overnight, but you may be planting the seeds to that long-term growth with this decision here. And our beloved and below. So we have our Queen of Chalices, and we have the World. So our below card, this one's looking to me that there may be a little bit of strife, but I don't feel like it's you personally. So this one could be attached to this family card, where maybe somebody is having a little bit of a difficult time within your family, and that's something that you may have to, or you may feel like just naturally of kind of helping that person out and giving them support. So I feel like that might be attached to here. And our from above, this is bringing in the world, right? This is going to be all of our facets coming together. And that might be attached to this decision here, as well as the family, where all of these things are coming together. And this is going to be this is also showing our cycle, right? Our life cycle. So this is going from youth into wisdom. So that might be a factor in this card here, where our past experiences and our new wisdom and where we are in our lives, you kind of, you know, you've learned some lessons, and this may portray into this, where that wisdom is going to help steer you to where you need to go. So that is week 2. Now we're going into week 3 of April. So starting off with our tarot. First we have our Knight of Pentacles, we have the Page of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. So if you notice, this is really closely related to the last card we had in the second week, so that adventure is going to be kind of coming in. But the difference is when the that adventure card in the second week is about adventure, it's about just kind of finding where you're going, and it's going to be really quite enjoyable. This is where it's going to start to transition into moving towards a goal, right? So it's still going to be an adventure. It's still something that you're going to have to kind of figure out along the way, but now you have a goal. You know where you're going. It's not just a kind of free-for-all, figure it out kind of situation. Now it's going to be leading into a goal. And this is going to lead down into our Page of Pentacles. So again, this is still, now you're planting yourself down, right? So we're still in the adventure stage, but we know what the end goal is, but now we're in the action stage. So the action stage is you have your feet planted on the ground. Yes, there's a little bit of a path that we need to take, but you know where you're going. You know what your end goal is, and now you know what steps you need to take to get there. And that's when we're going to plant our feet and start making those steps and leading our way down that path. On the kind of end of the week there, we have the Three of Cups, and this is when we have our collaboration and celebration. So this may be, because again, it's going to be, this adventure is going to be a slow growth. So it could be just a celebration of that we're taking this path. It's a celebrate. It could be a celebration of, we know where we're going. We know how to get there. Let's celebrate that we're taking this new endeavor. This could also be a celebration of just coming back together. This card sometimes comes up for, you know, a girls' night out, just women, like-minded women, coming together in a collaborative way, or just coming together to connect spiritually with each other and just rejuvenate each other. So this one could be read in a couple ways as far as this card. It could be a standalone, or it could be connected to these as well. Our intention card, we have, for today, I express myself. So this can definitely be connected to these as well, where we are expressing ourselves in what we're doing, what we're trying to gain. And that's where the celebration may come in, when you kind of know what's happening and what you're doing and how you're going to get there. You're going to express yourself, and you're going to let people know what's going on. And it could be a part of just having the confidence and the self-esteem to go, this is what I'm doing, and put it out in the world, put it out there that this is what you want, this is what you need, this is where I'm going, and just having that confidence to express yourself externally. For our oracle card, we have the number 3, so we have this overflowing chalice here, and this is overflowing with contentment is what I'm kind of getting, is, and comfort. I feel like it's, you're just overflowing with comfort. Every aspect of your kind of day-to-day life during this kind of week is going to be overflowing with contentment, and there's going to be no big struggles in one place or another, and you're just overflowing with gratitude essentially with this card. And for our below and above, so we have the Three of Swords, and our above we have the Nine of Water card. So for the Swords card from our down below, yes, this card looks a little scary. It looks more of kind of like a grief card, but I don't feel sadness coming from it. What I'm kind of feeling from it is it's a sense of letting go and change, but I don't feel sadness attached to it in this circumstance. I feel like it's just accepting it. Again, that can cause some strife with other people outside of your, immediate family, or that are going to be directly affected by it. But I don't feel sadness. I just see this is a big change, or leading towards a big change. But I don't feel sadness attached to this card. From our above, this is our kind of balance, right? This is our balance, and this definitely plays into our kind of contentment card, where we're not only going to be feeling, there's going to be a change kind of happening on the ground level and our physical level, but this balance is going to be happening in our spiritual level. And this is going to be the payoff from that self-care work that we did in week 1. So this is when you're going to definitely be feeling that. This is when you're overbalance of gratitude. You're going to have that balance of contentment is going to be coming from your spiritual side. So even though there's some physical things happening, either to yourself personally or maybe to a person around you, your spiritual side is going to be quite balanced during this week. So that is our week 3. And this is lastly our week 4. So for week 4, we have the Nine of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. So coming into this final week, I feel like some challenges are going to be coming about. For the first 3 weeks, it's been pretty smooth sailings, all things considered. A couple hiccups here and there maybe, but also it'll be kind of generally smooth sailings for the first few weeks of April. Now we're moving into the last week before we head into May. So the Nine of Wands, this is going to be, there's going to be a battle kind of happening at the beginning of the week. And this is just a part of defending yourself. So whatever the transition that's happening in April, this is where you may have to defend yourself. And this could be in a number of aspects. It could be from people you know, it could be from people you are having to work with, or maybe it's something that while you're taking those steps to get to your end goal, you may have to get people involved, or you're trying to get something organized and you may have to defend yourself in those situations. In the Three of Swords, there is a little bit of loss that is happening. So this could be on any aspect, but there's going to be some type of loss. Now this could be as simple as, you were trying to get something organized and it's just not going to work, right? For whatever reason, it's just not going to work. So there's going to be some kind of loss involved during that week. And then we have the Knight of Wands. So after this, you're going to have to defend yourself. Even if you're defending yourself, something's just not going to work out. There's going to be some type of loss involved. But at the end of that, you're going to be stronger to battle the next challenge. So yes, we kind of have to go through this you're going to be defending yourself, but it's going to be hard work. Something is going to be lost or it's not going to work out, but you're going to come out stronger, ready to fight the next battle. So whatever the next battle is that's going to be coming in May, you're going to be a lot stronger, and I'm assuming it's going to be easier, if not even a battle at all. Our intention card. For today, I take a risk. So this can definitely play in with these of whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to defend yourself about, and you're going to be going into battle with, it may be a risk. So perhaps that is why there will be a loss on something that you're trying to accomplish, is because you're taking that risk. But when you're in this stage of it's not working out, and maybe that'll start driving you to second guess yourself, just keep it in the back of your mind of this is all just a step, it's just a phase, and I'm going to be stronger coming out of it. This is something that just needs to happen for me to get even stronger for next time. Our Oracle card, 24. This is a nice butterfly card. And butterfly cards to me, or our butterflies itself to me, means freedom. And a lot of it is just freedom to do what you want, do what you need. So this is related to all of these cards, because this is the basis of what you're trying to do, is the freedom to do it, and giving yourself the freedom to not be restrained by previous situations, not being restrained by other things that are happening in your lives or other current situations. So you're going to have that freedom, and you may not realize it during this week. I feel like you're going to be so busy, you know, doing things, and things are going to be happening that you may not realize it. So this could be just a reminder of taking a step back for a moment and just realizing how much freedom you're giving yourself to do this, to accomplish what you want to accomplish, to go towards what you want to accomplish. So just remember that you are giving that freedom to yourself, and just being grateful and remembering that you have the freedom to do it. And for our below and above cards, we have the 6 of chalices, and we have number 2, the earth card. So from below, again, this is another kind of family-friendly card as well. And it's just giving yourself freedom to still have that play. So this is going to be counteracting all the drama that's going to be happening, is still just giving yourself time to play and just enjoy the small moments that are happening as well, alongside everything else that's going on. And my earth card here, this is our calmness. This is my calmness card. So you're going to have this drama happening. Give yourself time to remember to still play, still give yourself time to enjoy the little things, and that will give you that calm and that balance during that time. All right, so that is our week 4. So I am going to get all of my decks back together, and we'll go into the more personal readings for the month of April. Okay, so these are our more personal readings for the month of April. We have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. We have the Sea Melody Oracle cards. And then the Everyday Witch Tarot at the bottom. So just decide which pile you want. Just have a couple colored geodes. A nice amethyst cluster. And then the rose quartz. So we're going to start with our pile 1. So we're just going to shift these over. So for our pile 1, starting with the Enchanted Map Oracle, we have Stuck in the Mud. So this might be for people who are feeling a little bit stuck, maybe stuck in the situation that they're in, maybe stuck in something that's happening in their life. So it could be stuck in the job they're in, it could be stuck in a relationship, maybe just feeling stagnant, right? Just feeling stagnant with your life, not necessarily meaning that there's something negative happening, but just feeling a little bit stagnant. So you know, you're just craving that change. For our Sea Melody card, we have Prudence. Don't be lured by the siren song. So this can play with this card definitely, where because you're feeling a little bit stagnant, or possibly, you know, a relationship or a other situation, just make sure that you are taking the time to weigh out your situation and what direction you want to go into. Don't always go, you know, it's the old saying, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So don't follow the siren song. Take your time and just don't, you know, if something seems a little too good, take a step back and go, is that really what it is, right? And making sure that it's definitely something that you want to go towards. So now we're going to go into our tarot. All right, now this one actually reads this way just because of how I was pulling out the cards earlier. So our first card is the Page of Swords, second is the Ten of Wands, and the next one is number 20, Judgment. So first one, the Page of Swords, this is us reevaluating our inventory. So this is you just by yourself. So this is not related to relationship or career or anything else that involves other people. This is your own personal inventory. And I think this is something that we just need to take note, right? Take inventory of what things do I have for myself? What things do I do, or things that I am involved in that are just for myself? Yes, they can involve other people, like, you know, clubs, or if you're doing something that is involving other people, but it's something that you're doing for yourself. After we reevaluate this, and I feel like your inventory is going to be smaller than maybe you thought it was, or when you really have to take a step back and really look at what you do for yourself in your day-to-day life, or what you do for yourself in general, I think it's going to be a lot smaller than you realized it was. And you're going to realize that maybe a reason it is so small is because you are kind of doing this Ten of Wands here, where you're trying to hold too much. You're trying to hold too much together, or you're doing too much in other aspects of your life that is kind of not allowing you to do as much for yourself. So this is something that we definitely need to look at and kind of have to switch and shift around our priorities. Lastly is going into Judgment. So this is going to be our moving forward and changing what we're doing. And it's going to take a little bit of time to readjust everything that we're doing here. And it is going to involve other people, right? We can't just drop things as much as we like to sometimes. Sometimes and some things we can just drop, right? It's, you know, it's too much. I don't have enough mental space, or I don't have enough physical time to do all of these things. So that needs to be dropped. But other things need to be re-given to somebody else to do, or have somebody delegate, you know, other people to pick up the slack when they need to. So this is going to take time, and this is going to move into the Judgment. So this is judging and reevaluating everything that is happening in your life that is holding you back from having more stuff for yourself. So all of this will play into our stuck in the mud, right? To get out of this, where we are, whatever we're getting stuck in, we need to, through the process of taking personal inventory, getting rid of what you don't need, and through the process of judging, what do I keep, what do I give to somebody else, or what do I completely drop, this will shift us out of being in that stagnant mode or being stuck in that mode, and it'll move us forward. Now, if this stuck in the mud is related to a relationship, or possibly your career, or something else that involves other people, then this Ten of Wands and the Judgment, it could be that person, or it could be that career that you need to drop, or you're working too hard to make it work when you're not getting the payoff, you're not getting what you need or what you want out of that situation. So you may have to just completely cut it through that judgment, right? And that can be what that means as well. So that is the end of the reading for that first group. Second group, this is our nice little pink geode here. First card, the Enchanted Map. This is your peaks of joy. So this group here might be in a state of enjoyment or state of just being happy where you are, that, you know, your relationships, your possibly your family, your career, other things like that, you're sailing, right? You're sailing by at this time during peaks of joy. So for the month of April, everything is, I mean, you know, there's always hiccups naturally, you know, from time to time. That's just part of life, but they're not going to be big hiccups that are going to be throwing you out of balance, that are going to be throwing things completely out of whack. So you're in a state of kind of joy during the next month. Your Sea Melodies card is empathy. There's more beneath the surface. So I feel like this is for people that are around you or that may be close to you. So you're in this kind of peak of enjoyment at the moment. So maybe this is a time that you need to look around at the people that are close to you or that are around you, and maybe somebody is not doing so well, right? So this might be pushing you towards someone that may need your help or your guidance, or it could be as basic as just helping out somebody in the community, right? So it could be you're in this peak enjoyment. So maybe you have this time, or you have the strength and endurance right now to help somebody else out. And moving into your tarot, oh, you have 4 cards. Okay. All right. I don't know how that happened, but away we go anyway. I'm just going to put that one on top there because I just made enough space for the 3 cards. Maybe we can shift these over a little bit. Maybe it'll fit. There we go. All right. So apparently you get 4 cards. So again, we're reading this way just because of how I pulled the cards out. So the first is the 9 of Wands, and I feel like this is a past card. I feel like this is something that you are either going through right now at the end of March, or something that you've recently kind of gone through. And this is our battle card, right? This is our battle card and defending yourself card. And this might be what's leading into this peak of joy that you're going to go through in April. So I feel like this is a past card, and that might be why you have a 4th card, is it's showing you and it's recognizing that you've done the hard work. You've gone through the battle. You've defended yourself. That's already done. This is a past card you've already done, and this is just a confirmation that Spirit recognizes that you've done that. It's done. Okay. So if this is something that you're kind of going through right now at the kind of last of March, Spirit recognizes that it's happening and it's going to be done. So moving into April, this is where I think these 3 cards are coming in. First we have the Wheel of Fortune, then we have the Knight of Wands, and then the King of Wands. So lots of wands. So first going into the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune can be read in a few different ways. I feel like for this kind of month, I feel like you're switching it up, right? So you're not being overwhelmed by everything all at once, and that might be part of this battle that you just went through. But I feel like you're taking time that you can kind of pick. So you're going to go, okay, I'm going to focus on this. Okay, now I'm going to focus on that. So through the month, you're going to switch up. Instead of trying to do everything at once, you're going to take your time and focus on one thing at a time. And that'll definitely make you feel less overwhelmed. It's going to make you feel like you're in more control, and you're going to feel like you actually can accomplish things. Moving into our Knight of Wands and our King of Wands. So I feel like these 2 are kind of going hand in hand as well with this, is because of this past battle that you are finishing up here, you're going to have a lot of strength moving forward, and it's going to help you reevaluate everything that's going on in your world. So this one, when I draw, sometimes this talks about the world as a whole, but this is your world, right? So you're going to be a lot stronger to deal with and reevaluate everything that's going on in your world. And that's going to be a part of this, right? You're going to have the time now, or you're going to take the time at least to look at everything individually and deal with everything individually. And when you are doing that, and you're actually focusing on one thing at a time, you can reevaluate that particular part of your world. And is it worth doing? Is it worth keeping? Is it something that you need to change? And you're going to have the strength and the power to make those decisions and to change something that you need to change. Yes, it may be something that it might be a bit of a struggle to have to accomplish, but because of this battle that you've just completed, it's not going to be that bad. It's going to be a piece of cake. That's what I'm kind of feeling. It's like, yeah, it might be a pain in the butt, and you might have to put a little work into it, but it's going to be a piece of cake. It's no big deal. And like I said, going back to our Peaks of Joy card, our starting card here, you're going to have that overwhelming enjoyment and just general balance floating through all the way through the month. So even if you have these, these little hiccups and these little, oh, I got to do this chore, or I got to do this, to kind of get this done, overall, it's not going to throw off your balance. It's going to be, I feel like it's going to be one of those like, oh, it's going to take an afternoon to finish this. You're going to do that afternoon and it's going to be no big deal. It's going to be over. All right. So that is our reading for group number 2. Okay, so moving on to group 3. This is our amethyst cluster. So for your enchanted map oracle, we have follow the leader. So I feel like this is a card that perhaps you need to step back on decision making. Maybe you need to step back and reevaluate, and it could be just asking for help, right? So it's following the leader means you're going to let someone take the driver's seat for a while. Now this could be like a spouse or somebody else in your family. It could be maybe somebody at work that you need to just follow direction a little bit more, or maybe it's for something that you are doing new and you need help with. So maybe you're learning something new or trying to go down a new direction, and you need someone to guide you or help guide you down that right path. But either way, in some aspect, you need to pull back and let somebody else take the driver's seat for a while. For your sea melody card, we have breathe. Break from beneath the water surface and soar up beyond the turquoise sea. So this is our taking our step back. So this may be correlated with this, that you are kind of drowning a little bit, or you're finding something very hard. So you just need to follow the leader or follow direction. And this might let you kind of take that moment to breathe, right? Because you're feeling overwhelmed or you're kind of drowning a little bit. And by doing this will allow you to kind of take that breath. Moving into the tarot. So we have the Three of Cups moving into the Page of Pentacles and then the Knight of Pentacles. So we have a kind of grouping in together, and I feel like this is something that you are craving. And it could be because of this, you're kind of feeling like you're overwhelmed in a certain situation here that you need to kind of get yourself out of, and this might be what you're craving. You're craving, it could be a collaboration, it could be just taking that time to reconnect with people. And so this is, I feel like, something that you're kind of craving. By doing this, so following the leader, taking that breath that you need, get out of that whatever situation that you're drowning or you're feeling overwhelmed in, and reconnecting with the people that you need to reconnect with, this will allow you to make that decision on where you're going next. Because this will allow you to kind of let go of some stuff and reevaluate what's going on. And now you're going to be able to forge ahead where you need to go. And through that forging ahead, you're going to be leading into this situation here where you're going to have, it doesn't feel like you're kind of going in a completely different direction. I feel like it might be just a different way of how you're doing it. So yes, you're going to know, like, you're going to kind of find out and decide what direction you're going to be going in. And it might be just a different way of doing it. I don't feel like this is a complete change, right? Like switching jobs or something like that. But I feel like it's just the way that you're going to be going in that direction is going to be a little bit different than what you're doing now. And this will definitely play into that follow the leader, because how you're doing it now, you're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling like you're drowning. You're going to go in a different approach and follow somebody's directions or following somebody else's lead. This will allow you to breathe and take some time and reconnect with people that you need to reconnect with. And then your direction is going to change. So that current situation, your direction is going to change a little bit, and the way that you've been doing things will change. So this reading is definitely very incorporated and pretty straightforward on what you need to do. So that is our reading for number 3. And last but not least, we have our 4th reading with our rose quartz here. So your oracle card for the enchanted map is the Golden Palace. So this is telling me that there's something happening in your home. So this could be your direct in your family, in your home. It could be with your spouse, your kids, whoever you live with. So this is something that's dealing with your home, or it could be the home itself. Moving into your Sea Melody card, so we have communicate. Things left unsaid will never reach the shore. So this is definitely a relationship card, relationship with somebody that's in your house. Considering this came out, I don't think it's the house physically, so I don't think it's like somebody, I don't think it's like you're moving or like something with your town or anything like that. It's definitely something connected with a relationship, and some communication needs to take place. Moving into your tarot. So we have the 8 of Wands, the 3 of Wands, a lot of double like suits happening today. 3 of Wands, and then we have the Hanged Man. So starting with your 8 of Wands, this is your mixing things up and trying to get them settled. So this is things that are like kind of floating around you, happening around you, and you're trying to get them settled. You're trying to get them to slow down. And this might be part of the communication is whoever this person is that you need to communicate with and kind of get things settled with. It's, you know, they're doing things around you. They're doing things around you. Maybe you have some control in it. Maybe you don't. And it could be something that you're trying to get them to settle down with, or it's something that you don't right now have control over, but you want control of, or you want them to change how they're doing something like that. But there's things happening around you that you are trying to settle. And this communication card is definitely going to be covering all of these. How you're going to resolve these problems is through this communication. So to settle the things around you, you need to communicate. After trying to settle things, moving into our 3 of Wands, this is going to be our, like after it's settled, you need to let it settle. Okay. And what I mean by that is after it's kind of settled, then we don't need any drastic changes at that point. We don't need anything big and definitive happening. You just kind of need to let them settle and let them play out for a little while. Okay. And there might be some lost energy through this process where you're not going to want to do anything, or you're not going to want to, you know, do anything else because you're just so tired. And that's okay. Those things need time to settle. And then lastly, moving into our Hanged Man. So for the Hanged Man, playing into these other cards, this is something that you need to let go of. And it may not necessarily be something that you need to let go of, or sorry, that you want to let go of, but you may feel like you need to kind of bring harmony within this relationship. And so how that plays together is you need to communicate with them to be able to settle things that are happening around you. Things will need time to settle. And at the end of that, you may realize that you need to give something up for the greater good of the relationship, or the stability of the home, or the stability of, the family. You may have to give something up. And yes, this is a hard card to get sometimes, and this is a hard thing to realize sometimes, but usually down the road, it ended up, everything happens for a reason type card, right? Yes, it's going to suck at the short term, and it's going to kind of suck of having to go, I'm the one that has to give it up, or I have to give this up. So something that's going on with this person can kind of, flourish or get better. And in the end, that'll help the relationship, that'll help the family, or, the situation overall. That'll help down the road. Now, this might be in a couple months, that might be next year, but there will be a type of sacrifice that will need to happen from you personally. And yeah, so that is the reading for the fourth person. So that is the end of the readings for April. Not too bad of a month, nothing too crazy popping up. That might be a part of just, we're all going to be still probably stuck in our house for the beginning of the month anyway. Hopefully everybody's going to start getting to work and things like that during that. Seems like at kind of the second week, third week, that's when we're all going to be kind of going a little bit back to normal to a certain degree. Things are going to be happening. Things are going to be changing closer to the end of the month. And yeah, so if you want to keep to date of all my new tarot readings, I also have meditations on my video. If you are feeling that you need to go into some type of meditation to kind of help you out during your current situations, I would love it if you subscribed and liked this video. And let me know down below if you resonated with any of these readings. Let me know over the next couple weeks if what's coming up in these cards are playing out in your real lives. I would love to know. I love the feedback that helps me do my readings and help you guys out with more accurate readings in the future. And yeah, so hopefully everybody has a good April, either the cards play out or not. Hopefully everyone has a good April and we start getting to back a little bit of normality, especially closer to the end of the month before we get into May, before all the spring and the fun stuff starts happening. So thank you everyone for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.